Welcome back to Cosmeholics Anonymous. I am your favorite girl, Bo Vintage, and today's video is a story time. This story time is the scariest night of my life, okay? I kid you not. It was so scary for me because I am a spiritual person and I just don't do demons. Like, I don't do them. So, you know, it was really scary for me, but let's get this started. I kind of introduced you guys to this when I told the story about the roofies. So this happened when I was living in the shelter. I basically did a shelter hop where I was staying at one shelter, but it wasn't glamorous, okay? So one night when I was out with my shelter friends, I actually ended up going inside another shelter that was a youth shelter rather than a women's shelter where I was staying. And when I saw the lounge and stuff, I was automatically attracted to it. But I had not seen the bedrooms, which was more important than the mother effing lounge. But like Wi-Fi, I was like in there like swimwear, so I was like, I might come here. But I didn't finish making that decision. Somebody ended up making that decision for me by calling and registering me into that shelter. And once you're registered into one shelter, you can't be registered in the other shelter. So it was just a hot mess. I didn't get to make the decision for myself, and then all this shit happened. So let's get into it. So the morning after that other story time, I'll link it in the description box, I went, or the afternoon, sorry, I checked into the youth shelter. I had no idea what to expect, but I got there and they took me up to my room, and immediately as soon as I walked into this room, girl, the smell hit me like a ton of bricks. I damn near almost died by the smell alone, and that wasn't the scary part. Like, it wasn't scary at this point. It was just like, ew. Okay, because where I was staying before did not stink. Okay, there might have been lots of different people there might have been crackheads and other kinds of folk there, but like, this place reeked. Okay, it smells so bad. I can't describe the smell to you. It smelled like dead bodies. I ain't never smelled a dead body before that was, you know, in decomposition, but like, I can tell you it probably smelled like this room right here. So I get in my room and they show me that I'm on the bottom bunk, and I'm just like, okay, not bad. At the other shelter I was on the top bunk at first, and so I preferred being on the top for some reason. I don't know, but I liked being on the top bunk. But anyway, they show me the bottom bunk. Cool. I have my little suitcase or my stuff, and they're like, okay, this is your closet. Do you have a lock? I'm like, yeah. And they're just showing me everything, and the lady leaves, and I'm just like, what did I get myself into? And again, this is not where it's scary. Well, it's about to be scary. So I opened the closet door to start hanging my stuff in there because this is home. And I'm looking in the closet, and there's like weird stuff written on the walls. Oh my god. Weird stuff written on the walls, and I tried to read it once, and then I tried to read it a second time, and when I realized I couldn't read it, I stopped reading it because I felt like it was going to be like a spell. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I felt like it was going to be like some demonic shit like I just read and like unleashed into myself, okay? So I wasn't having it. I was like, was I really gonna read it? I was like, nope, not having it. So I actually locked my stuff in that closet, went out to the like the staff, and I asked them for a permanent marker so I could scratch out whatever the hell it said. Like, I still remember what it was I still remember what I was trying to read, but I'm not gonna say it on camera because I don't know what the hell it is, girl. I don't know if it's voodoo, I don't know if it's obia, I don't know what it is, but I ain't into that stuff. So I'm just like, no, not today, okay? But it's like embedded in my head. There was 2 lines of that, and then there was other things on the other side of the wall, and like, I imagine that's what the inside of a jail cell looks like because people scratch things into the wall all the time, but that was written in permanent marker. So I got a permanent marker from the staff, and she actually came with me to see what it was on the wall, and she couldn't read it either. And so I just scribbled it out because what the F, I'm not about to look at that every day and be what's that word, child, and have to need an exorcism because of it. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. The way the room was there was 3 people to this, 3 or 4, I think 4 people to this room, which was less than I was used to, because at the other shelter there was more people in my room, but it was a very spacious room. Spacious. So anyway, there's an Asian girl on the bed. She's asleep. It's the middle of the day, but she looked like she not waking up, and everybody else is just not in the room at this point. It's just me and her in there. Actually, no, I think there might have been a black girl across from me in a single bed, and the Asian girl was also in a single bed. And the black girl had greeted me or whatever, and then that was that. But anyway, as I'm packing my stuff away, I look over and there is a drawing on the closet door on a piece of paper. And when I say this drawing was the most disturbing thing that I ever witnessed, I can actually draw it out for you guys right now, but I don't want to scare you guys. But how I'll describe it is when you're watching a scary movie, like a horror movie, and a little a little possessed child draws a photo of something. It was like that. That's what the image was. It was, I don't even know if it was like a little black demon, and then there was just like colors around it, and like it just looked like hell. And I just was like, no, who drew this and why is it here? And so when I called the staff in to actually do the scribbling out of the thing in my closet, she stayed, and I was just like, what is that? I just pointed to it and I'm like, what is that? Because I didn't know what the hell it was. I'm like, whose is that? What is that? But the person that drew it wasn't in the room. And she's like, is it scary? Is it bothering you? And I was like, yes. So she was like, okay, well, I'll get the person to take it down when she comes home. And I was like, thank you. And so that was that. So I finished unpacking my stuff and I go and lay in the freaking bed, and I'm just like, what the heck am I doing here? Like, this is not okay. So off bat, it was bad news bears, but I was like, whatever, there's Wi-Fi here. I'm gonna go downstairs and watch these YouTube videos and hang out with myself because there's nothing else to do at this point. So I'm downstairs now. I'm on my Wi-Fi, I'm on the Wi-Fi, and I'm just hanging out for hours, countless hours. I'm just down there on my iPad hanging out, and nobody's bothering me. I'm just in the lounge. And I thought I would be able to stay down there all night. Baby girl, no. At 2, I think it was, 2 a.m., the lady came downstairs and she was like, okay, lights out, guys. Everybody into their room. And I was just like, oh my gosh, they told me that I would be able to, like, just chill all night. Like, that's the dream that I was sold before I decided to switch to this shelter. But like I said, I didn't really make the full decision to switch. So when she told me that I can't stay down there, I was like, frick, because you don't get the Wi-Fi signal the best upstairs. I had my phone still, but it was just like, not the same. So I go upstairs now, and now everybody that I hadn't met yet that's staying in the room is in the room. So it's actually 3 people I was sharing the room with, so 4 total. So I was the 4th person. So there was a bunk bed and 2 single beds. When I get into the room, I see this little blonde girl. And the little blonde, well, I'm saying little, but like whatever. Little blonde girl, she's like crouched down by her closet door. She's like changing and being weird. And so I say hi to everybody just so it's not super awkward. And I crawl into my bed. The little blonde girl finishes doing what she's doing. She hops up on the top bunk and she's just sitting up there. This is where I was like, I'm done with life. So she's sitting on the top bunk, she's not saying anything, and I'm laying on my bed and I'm on my phone, so like my face is like this. But the way the room is set up, the door is here. Behind the door, so right here, is a mirror and a sink, so as soon as you wake up or whatever, you can brush your teeth and or wash your face and stuff. You don't have to go to the washroom to do that, right? So there's a sink and a mirror right here. Closet, other side of the room, bed back here, and the bunk bed is right by the door. So my bunk bed was right across from the mirror and the sink, okay? The door is closed. When the door is open, you can't see in the mirror or anything like that. But once it's closed, you can. Duh. I'm laying in the bed, and I get like this eerie feeling, and I feel like I'm being watched by the girl in the top bunk. And so I wasn't looking in the mirror or anything, but I just felt like she was watching me, even though she was sitting on top. And so it was just weird because who the hell just sits on the damn butt, like whatever. So I'm laying there on my phone and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a peek in the mirror and see if she's staring at me. When I looked in the mirror, you guys, I'm not even lying, I'm not joking, I'm not kidding. When I looked in the mirror, her eyes were already locked with my eyes. How? I don't know, I don't care. But like, I did not keep eye contact with her. I was just like, nope, nope. So I went like this. So this is me. Let me grab my phone, chat. So this is me. I'm in my phone, I'm laying down. I feel like she's watching me, so I just look in the mirror. I see that she's looking right at me, and so I just slowly like, okay. And I start looking at my phone again. I looked at my phone for maybe 20 more seconds, and then I booked it out of there, okay? I took my sheet off. I went out the front door, and I went to the staff, and I was bawling my eyes out, crying, like literal tears. I was crying so hard. I was like, I can't stay here, I can't do this, like I want to go back, like I don't know why I came here, like I can't sleep in that room, like it's so horrible, blah blah blah. And she had actually taken the artwork down, the girl. So I don't know if she was staring at me because she had to take the artwork down. I don't know why she was staring at me. I don't know how those other two girls in the room were comfortable sleeping in the room with this crazy bitch, but I just was not having it. And so the staff was like, okay, for tonight you can stay in the TV room. There was a TV room upstairs. They didn't give me the control and nothing like that, child. I didn't need the control. She's like, but like, this is it. This is the only night I'm going to allow you to do that. I get it. You're new here, blah, blah, blah. But you can't stay in there forever. Like, you can't sleep in there. That's just not what you're not allowed to just sleep in there. So I was like, okay, all right, cool, whatever. So I slept in there and everything was cool. Fast forward to the next day. So the next morning I wake up and I go into the room. Everybody's still in there, including her, and at this point I felt like maybe last night I kind of exaggerated because she seemed normal that day. She seemed very normal. And so when I got in the room, she was talking to me and she was just like, I was so fucked up last night. Like, she was saying that she was drunk or high, girl, I don't know, but like, I don't think you're allowed to drink when you are in the shelter, but like, everybody just does their own thing anyway. But anyway, she was like, I was so fucked up last night, and I was just like, oh cool, like okay, why are you telling me this? But whatever. So she has her little small talk with me, then she goes about her day. I was like, I need to shower. So this was my first time using the shower at this shelter. Now, from what from the other story time, I said when I had gone in there, she had brought me to the handicap bathroom, but I didn't know it was a handicap bathroom, and it was so nice. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so much nicer. Space, like, you don't have to share it with anybody. Nobody's showering across from you. So I was like into it. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to switch shelters. When I actually went to go shower this day, it was not the handicap bathroom that I ended up in, because I didn't know where it was in the building. So I went to this other bathroom and I was just like, this is disgusting. This is worse than where I was coming from. And this is why you need to just appreciate what you have, child, and don't be trying to switch it out for other things, honey. Like, no. So I was like, this is gross. Like, I'm literally disgusted by this shower and bathroom right now. Like, it was a bathtub actually, which was even worse than a shower. Because like, public bathtub, ew. Public shower, ew, but like not ew, but like public bathtub with a shower, ew. So I go, I'm wearing my flip-flops in there because ew. And I take my shower or whatever, and I just go about my day. Once again, I head to the lounge and I just Wi-Fi it up. I just kick it on my phone for however many, not my phone, on my iPad for however many hours, okay? Once it was time, once again, to go back upstairs, I went upstairs and I was laying down, and homegirl, the same blonde, little blonde girl, came in the room and she was being weird again. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. She actually had gone to the shower, and when she came back to the room, she just had her towel on. So I'm once again minding my own damn business. I'm on my phone and she's in the closet, but I kept seeing her like look over her shoulder at me. So I'm weirded the hell out. So I asked Shorty, I'm like, do you want me to leave for the room and come back in a second? Because she did it about 4 times, okay? So then she tells me yes. I go out and I come back in like 15 minutes. Whatever. No big deal. The bitch crazy. It is what it is. So she's on her top bunk and she starts conversing with me. And she was asking me a lot of questions. And then when I would ask her those same kinds of questions back, she wouldn't be answering me truthfully. And I just knew she wasn't being honest. Like, she was just lying through her teeth. Like, I I can't explain how I knew she was lying, but like, she wasn't answering me truthfully, and she was also giving me short answers, but I was being open. And so I was like, this is really, really strange. It wasn't like super personal questions either. That's why I was just like, why is she answering me like this? Like, she's asking me questions, I'm telling her the answers to them, and then she's being all weird about it. So whatever. So I'm texting my friend, and I'm just like, my friend from the other shelter, and I'm just like, I don't know why the hell I came here. Like, can you please find out if there's space at the shelter still? Because like, literally, if you leave a bed at the shelter, it will get filled that same night. You do not want to lose your friggin' bed. Oh my gosh, where was I in the story? Oh my gosh. So I'm laying there and she's just like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the staff and see. So then yeah, so homegirl is up in the bunk and she's trying to talk to me and she's trying to find out everything about me at this point. And I'm just like, this is not happening. So I was answering her because I did, like, she actually scared my soul. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I felt like she was the devil. So I was answering her because I didn't want her to feel some type of way. You know what I mean? I didn't want her to do no voodoo shit to me, but like, I felt like I couldn't sleep in the room again, which was an issue because I wasn't allowed to sleep in the other room because I felt like she was the type of person that would do something to me in my sleep. As I was laying there and the staff called me and they were like, the staff from the other shelter, they were like, hey, we hear you want your bed back. And I was just like, please, immediately. And they're like, yeah, you can come. And so that very night, I packed my shit up. I hopped in an Uber and took my ass right back to that shelter. It was probably 12 a.m. I did not care. They were like, yeah, you can come now. And I was just like, bless the Lord. So I went back to that shelter and I never left until I needed to leave. And so the shelter that I was actually staying at that I would not recommend to anybody is the Covenant House. That one was the ratchet one that had all of the ghetto people and the crazy girl, and like, it's a youth shelter, but they also have apartments in there that you can live in once you, I don't know, they like have some system going on there, but people live in the shelter. They don't live, like, they have like actual apartments above it where you can rent it and it's mad cheap and you can live there for life, and like, you have your own kitchen, own everything. And then the shelter's on like the main floor and then the lounge downstairs. And to be honest, that Covenant House was the first place that I ate the shelter food because I was like, I can't eat this. Like, I'm so picky, you guys. I'll share more shelter experience stories with you, but like, when I got to Covenant House was the first time I actually ate shelter food, because I was just like, every time I was at the other shelter, I would either order food or go out to eat. Like, I was not about to eat that nasty food because I didn't know who was cooking it. And then when I seen the people that were cooking it, I was like, bitch, you was not about to be serving me no food. I'm so sorry about it. Like, no. When I got to Covenant House, I had food and it was okay, but the rice was cold and hard. Girl, I can't, like, honestly, the shelter is a very, 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 very humbling experience. And that's why now I'm clearly not living in a shelter and I'm a lot better than I was back then. I don't feel the need to be flashy. Like, I love nice things, but like, I don't like shove it in you guys' faces or anything like that when I do buy stuff. Like, Fenty stuff is whatever because I know that's important to do videos on, but it's really, really, really humbling experience to live in a shelter. And like, if you've never lived in a shelter, one, you never want to have to live in a shelter, but also, if that's something you have to do, that's something you have to do. You know what I mean? I was just out of luck. and it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And so I get emotional about the shelter because it's just like, oh, when I think about that time in my life, I'm like, I was so lost and hurt and frustrated. Look at my dumb ass. Y'all know what I say. Not today, because my makeup is slaying. Yeah, I get emotional about the shelter because it's just like that time in my life was so hard for me. Like, it's just not somewhere I ever thought I would end up. But like the way I was going, that's the only place I could have ended up. And so yeah, but it's taught me so much, and I'm grateful for that experience despite the fact that it sucked. Homelessness is not a joke. And so like, if you've ever been homeless, kicked out, if you've ever had to resort to living in a shelter rather than living on the street side because you literally had nowhere else to go, then kudos to you, because you know what the struggle is. You've experienced something that not a lot of people experience, and well, a lot of people do experience it, but I mean, like, people are fortunate to never have to experience that. I wasn't so fortunate, but it's made me a better, stronger person. And so shout out to the shelter. The shelter that I was staying at was called Street Haven, and I met so many amazing people there. So yeah, I guess I'm not gonna get into all that crap right now, but yeah, that's basically the scariest night of my life, and I'll never forget it. I guess the lesson there was just appreciate what you have and be grateful for what you have, and don't look for something that you think is better than what you already have, because where I was just fine, you know what I mean? Because I lost the bed at Street Haven because I went to the other shelter, once I got back to Street Haven, I wasn't in the same room, I wasn't with the same people, and that put my stuff at risk. Because the room that I was in, I was blessed to have a really good room where well, except for this one heifer, but like, I was blessed to have a really good room where people weren't stealing. And then when I got into the other room, it's a totally different story because I didn't know anybody in there. I wasn't comfortable with those people at that point. So yeah, just be grateful for what you have and try to manage your money, and don't be like me when I was then. And you know what the best thing about being that down and out was, that now when I am far from down and out, that I know what I did back then to be in that place, and I could never make the same mistake twice. I could never end up somewhere like that again. Well, I can't say never. No, child, never. I could never end up somewhere like that again, because I know what I did wrong in that time frame or in that time period of my life, and I grew from that, you know what I mean? And I'm more responsible, I guess that's the perfect word. I'm more responsible now, and I owe all that to the shelter, child. And to the events leading up to the shelter. Like, realistically, excuse me, realistically, I owe all that to 2014. I really do. But yeah, I love you all, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.